Today is Thursday, March 27th. Thanks again for joining me for the weekly webinars. You know, again, it still baffles me how every week there's something new to discuss. And this week we have quite a bit to discuss. Not a lot of answers, but a lot to discuss. So we go back to the first bullet point on this, or actually I believe 2 weeks ago now, the President announced that an extension to the original extension could take place for plans that were written prior to certain dates, non-PPACA plans, that they could stay in effect for group and individual. Evaluating what they're going to do. Capital Blue Cross, it does appear that they're going to extend 2017. However, the details are still a little bit fuzzy. They're just getting clarification on what exactly that means. Originally, they said that for individual policies written prior to 10/1 of 2013, those policies could stay in place until 10/1 of 2017. And they also said about groups with capital that were written prior to 5/1 of 2013. But again, we're still waiting on the details, and you know, I guess we're not going to rush into anything, but as soon as I have any information, I will certainly let you know. And the next bullet point is March 31st. As we all know, Monday, March 31st is the close of individual enrollment for on and off exchange, except for a qualifying event, which throws somebody into a special election period. Well, yesterday it was announced that the March 31st date, cutoff date, is actually being extended, and you know, again, we're still trying to wait to see what that means, what the carriers will do for off exchange. You know, that the rule is still a little bit vague in that they're saying, or HHS is saying that somebody that had attempted to enroll prior to March 31st or had difficulties, that there's a blue box that they're going to check to indicate that, you know, they tried to enroll but were unsuccessful. There's some news outlets that are saying that there's a blue box that needs to be checked, and nobody is going to check to see if the person is telling the truth or not, that they originally tried to enroll and were unsuccessful. So, you know, of course, that opens up interpretation of what it really means to extend this deadline. We're operating at this point on the premise that March 31st is the cutoff, and for off exchange and for on exchange, and for those on exchange, if you have a valid, you know, reason that you could not enroll prior to that. You know, again, the pushback on the cutoff is also a little bit vague. You know, they have the date, the calendar date of sometime in mid-April. So who knows what that really means? But again, we're still extending our hours tomorrow. We'll be in the office till 4:30 for those of you that want to submit your last-minute applications for off exchange. We're asking that the applications are received at our office no later than 2:30. And of course, we'll be working full day on Monday the 31st, and we would ask that your applications are received at URL no later than 2, so we can properly submit those to the carriers. You know, again, we're just unclear of what the carriers are even going to do about the extension. So lots of questions, and again, very little answers. Many of you have heard probably from the news that Hobby Lobby and Conestoga Wood Specialties, their case went to the Supreme Court. It was heard by the justices. And basically the premise of the lawsuit is that these privately owned Christian companies object to the birth control that they are being mandated to supply in health plans. And I guess really at question is not necessarily the birth control, but the day after pill and things like that. So we'll hear something, I guess, in June about that, but it could be pretty detrimental, you know, if they rule that these privately owned corporations are not able to make their own decisions about what they want to offer their employees. So, you know, again, we'll keep watching that, but nothing's expected to be determined until June. I did mention our extended hours, tomorrow 8 to 4:30. So we'll be in a full day to help you with your questions and your last-minute submissions. And, you know, as we do gear down towards the close of the FFM and individual enrollment for on and off exchange, you know, whatever that close is, we are, as mentioned before, going to start talking about strategy. And, you know, ERISA, I'm not sure what's going on with my phone. ERISA has been around since 1974, and recently there have been a lot of cases of the Department of Labor coming in and auditing businesses, and there is such a thing as a summary plan documents that have to be in a group's possession. So we're going to talk a little bit about some, you know, some options for you, not only to talk to your groups about these ERISA forms, but also, you know, generate some new opportunities outside of the enrollment period. Also, on May 14th, we're going to have a CE course on the measurement periods from Prime Pay. So watch for information on that. We're having a lunch and learn, and this is, you know, something that is very confusing, but again, for those groups, you're going to want to talk strategy and you're going to want to talk measurement periods with them, and I think that the the lunch and learn will be timely, and it's going to offer one CE. So that's it for the agenda. I don't know, I didn't have any submitted questions, but let's see here. We can open it up for our open forum. And Lori says that she's not received commissions on any of her market clients. She's also had issues with assisting clients, and then they call into the carrier to make a payment, and the carrier doesn't have them. They instruct them to call back to the marketplace, and then they lose my information as broker. They spell the client's name wrong, and there are many errors. Any fix? Absolutely, Lori. If you can compile a list of your clients to include the date that you entered, you know, completed the application, the effective date, the name of your insured, and include the Social Security number and the name of the carrier. Your case manager can check on those cases to see what we can do and basically verify if they are active and under you. So we'll help you with that. Hoshi says, how far does limited circumstance special enrollment periods last? Well, you know, again, they issued the very specific calendar date of sometime in mid-April. So I don't know when that is. My assumption is that it's going to move based on the enrollment that they get in this last, you know, the 2-week push that they're extending, really. But again, I've not heard a definitive date other than sometime in mid-April. And questions are very light today. I guess everybody's just tired and ready for this, the enrollment season maybe to be over. But if anyone has any questions, go ahead and type them in now. Otherwise, we'll end very early today. And, you know, once again, I thank you for your time weekly at these webinars. Our next webinar is Thursday, April 4th. Hopefully, I'll have a lot more information about some of these issues, the extensions, and also the extension on the enrollment as well. So thank you again. Have a great day and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.